Here is every major difference between the manga and the anime in the Demon Slayer Swordsmith Village arc. You don't want to miss this. Ufotable did a very great job animating the series and adding some more exciting things that were missing in the manga, and also removing some major panels. Stick around till the end. Starting with the first episode, we see the Upper Moon meeting, and with how much I liked it in the manga, the animation studio did an amazing job with this one. But there are a few differences between the manga and the anime. Firstly, Muzan's entrance and speech wasn't that epic in the manga, but I guess you need to make the Demon King even more frightening than he already is. Even the part where he broke all the tubes wasn't in the manga. Still, at the end of the day, he is just Muzan Jackson. Another thing that was different is the Kokushibo and Akaza interaction. Firstly, Kokushibo looked much more angry at Akaza in the manga, and Akaza didn't even flinch in the manga like he did in the anime, but this was probably due to the animation studio wanting to add more dramatic effect. If you ask me, I like the manga panels better. Next scene is the inherent memory Tanjiro had about Yoriichi. The manga and anime aren't much different except the scene when Yoriichi got up and took his sword. Tanjiro then opens his eyes to see Kanao crying over the fact that he finally woke up after a long coma. We then have a long and funny interaction between the Demon Slayer core members. Next up is an anime-only scene and one of the best scenes in my opinion. On his way to the hot spring, Tanjiro stops and witnesses the art of forging a katana in all its Japanese style. Forging swords is hard and requires dedication and hard work. Now, in the anime, Kotetsu doesn't get the best impression. This is because most of his strong points are explained in 2 pages of chapter 104 that were not animated. We get to know that Kotetsu is excellent at analyzing things and fighting styles. Kotetsu also teaches Tanjiro how the functionality of the Yoriichi Type 0 Dao can be changed by rotating the ki in a specific way and moving some of its body parts. This is the reason that Tanjiro's training was more efficient, because Kotetsu set the movements of the Dao to exploit Tanjiro's weak points in battle. Honestly, I thought Kotetsu to be an annoying little brat, but he is pretty intelligent and helpful. Now you know that too. Next up, after decapitating the Yoriichi Type 0, Tanjiro gets a gift, the legendary sword from 300 years ago. But it was rusty, and that's when Haganazuka makes his entry, and we see a little fight between them. In the manga, the ending of that fight is not proper, but the anime made it more clear and good. In the anime, we can see Haganazuka taking Tanjiro's new sword and giving him another backup sword. Coming up next is another anime-exclusive scene. This is arguably the most wholesome scene in Demon Slayer. This is none other than Tanjiro styling Nezuko's hair to look like Mitsuri's hair. Just look at her, she is so cute. Now comes the first glance of the Upper Moon 4 in the village. We can see its clothes, and Ufotable got a little lazy and didn't include the beautiful patterns that were in the manga. I know drawing patterns can be annoying, but still, these patterns are so beautiful. After getting woken up by Muichiro and talking a little bit, Hantengu decides to join the conversation. Honestly, if I see something this creepy crawling into my room, I'm using my thunder breathing to get the heck out of there. Anyways, this is the first time we see Muichiro fighting and using mist breathing. The manga is just okay-ish in this scene, but Ufotable is Ufotable. They absolutely killed it. Like, just seeing all of this mist and detailing and slow-mo in this scene, ooh, it gives me goosebumps every time. Also, in the anime, we can see Nezuko transforming into her true demon form. The manga doesn't show the transformation process. Seeing Nezuko growing bigger in size is just satisfying. After dividing and sending Muichiro flying in the jungle, we can see the 2 demons fighting, and that's when Sekido unleashes his lightning power, and Ufotable decides to add a little more crispiness to the scene. The manga uses a flat lightning style, whereas the anime adds another wavy lightning style to it. Now, since the starting of chapter 107, we can see that Nezuko's horn is missing. I don't think it's an error. Maybe the thunder attack disrupted her full transformation? What do you think? Comment down below. Anyway, there is another anime-only scene. After waking up from the previous attacks by Karaku, or you can say the fan demon, Nezuko carries her brother and runs for their life. Soon they get hit by another lightning attack, and Tanjiro wakes up, but Nezuko gets knocked out. Now in the manga, Sekido orders Karaku to blow away the entire building, but in the anime he commands Karaku to chase after them. This is just a small chase scene, but creates a big impact. But who cares? Karaku blows the building anyways. After this comes the best scene of season 3, in my opinion. Do you know what else is the best? Subscribing to my channel. So go hit that subscribe button or I'll send Karaku to your house to blow you away while you're in the bathroom. Anyways, after getting blown away by Karaku, Nezuko holds onto Tanjiro's katana and covers it with her blood. Why? To ignite it with her blood demon art and turning it into the one and only bright red sword. After unlocking the red blade and the Demon Slayer mark, Tanjiro one-shots Karaku, Urogi, and Sekito, and Ufotable didn't hold back on this scene. We got the best 1 minute of the season. We can see Nezuko's blood demon art color and Hinokami Kagura's color mixing up in one single attack. Combining this and the slow-mo and sound effects, this scene is just fabulous. Fun fact, this whole scene is only from a single page of the manga. Soon after, we can see an anime-exclusive frame in which the destruction of the battlefield is shown, and it's all crumbled into pieces. As we know, after Karaku destroyed the building, Nezuko was stuck under some wooden logs. The anime shows clearly that after one-shotting the demons, Tanjiro was the one to help Nezuko. A brother helping his stuck sister. But in the manga, we can see that Genya was the one to save Nezuko. I don't know why they changed this. I think they wanted more brother-sister bond. What do you think? Comment down below. After all this saving, while Tanjiro was fighting Urogi, Karaku came from the back and launched a surprise attack on Tanjiro. Honestly, in the manga, the panels are better here because they look more windy and circular, but the anime is only some straight green wind. After this, we can see another anime-exclusive scene. We can see Gyoko teasing Muichiro while he's trapped in the water prison. I guess this was to remind us that there's another Hashira fighting another Upper Moon. On to another anime-exclusive scene. During the backstory of Genya, we can see that Genya along with all of his siblings are sleeping, and then Sanemi wakes up to find their mother soon after all the children wake up. But in the manga, they are all already awake and waiting for their big brother and mom. But soon after they all die, except Genya of course. Anyways, moving on. After the awakening of Zohakuten, in the anime the wooden dragons are just wooden dragons. But in the manga, we can see branches with leaves coming off from the dragon to give it a more tree-type look. Along with this, in the anime, Tanjiro rides one of those dragons and gets saved by Nezuko afterwards, but the manga directly shows us Tanjiro getting saved by Nezuko. This anime-exclusive scene wasn't bad, but it could be improved. Like when Tanjiro inserts his sword into one of the dragons. There's no sound for that. Well, who cares now? It is what it is. During the backstory of Muichiro, we can see his father cutting wood and talking to him. That's not in the manga. The manga just shows a faraway shot in which his father is cutting trees, and the next time we see him is when he was on the cliff. But in the anime, we can see him trying to pluck the herb, but he falls down and dies. The anime shows more of his father than the manga showed him, and that's pretty good for him. Soon after, Amane visits the boys. The manga just shows her leaving instantly. We only just get a dialogue stating that Yuichiro unleashed a verbal assault on her, but in the anime, we get an anime-exclusive scene in which we can see Muichiro talking to Amane with interest, but then there's Yurichiro who doesn't give a crap. When she visits them again, we again just get a dialogue in the manga stating that Yuichiro threw water at Amane, whereas the anime shows a little picture showing Yurichiro throwing water at Amane. After remembering the cold story of his, Muichiro unleashes an anger and unlocks his Demon Slayer mark. Now there is a big error in this mark. It's colored red when it should have been colored blue. Why am I saying this? Because when we see the colored version in the Infinity Castle arc, we can clearly see that Muichiro's mark is colored blue, not red. I guess they thought every Demon Slayer mark was red. Not only this, but Mitsuri's mark is also red where it should have been pink. After awakening his mark, he instantly kills all the CGI fish that were there and checks on Kotetsu. But in the manga, this scene is nowhere to be found, just like your dad who went to go buy milk. The fight between Muichiro and Gyoko is extended, after Gyoko almost got his neck cut but manages to teleport into a tree. We can see another anime-exclusive attack launched by Gyoko, and honestly, this fight with the added fight scenes, Ufotable is just flexing their animation quality, because this is as good as animation can be. Now let's get back to Tanjiro and the others. Well, it doesn't matter. Tanjiro has been swollen by one of the wooden dragons and is slowly getting crushed. That's when our lovely love Hashira enters the battlefield, and we see an anime-exclusive scene of her cutting down the wooden dragon and saving our main protagonist, who has more plot armor than Goku. From there on, the whole episode was an anime-exclusive showcasing of Mitsuri's awesome moves. Speaking of Mitsuri, during her backstory, we can see a plethora of anime-exclusive scenes. First is the one of her father playing with her. In the manga, her father was not even shown in her backstory. Next is when 14-month-old Mitsuri lifted a 33-pound stone. The manga covered it only in one panel, but the anime extended it, and we can see her father there too. In the manga, only Mitsuri goes to the restaurants, but the anime shows all of her family and adds arm wrestling scenes with the sumo wrestler. You think that's it? Nope. because there's another anime-exclusive scene in which Mitsuri wakes up in the middle of the night and doubts if she'll ever get married or not. Look, if I was in the Demon Slayer universe, I would definitely marry Mitsuri. Wouldn't you? Now, as you can see, her father is not shown in the manga once. I guess he went to buy the milk and never came back. Up next are the scenes from the last and the best episodes of the entire Demon Slayer anime so far. Honestly speaking, if any other studio would have taken Demon Slayer to animate, they would ruin the experience that Ufotable provides. After facing a dilemma of either saving Nezuko or killing the Upper Moon 4, Tanjiro can't make a choice, but Nezuko makes the choice instead and kicks Tanjiro in the direction of the demon. Realizing that Nezuko is going to die, Tanjiro can't help but cry while flying. That's when we get an exclusive montage of the memories of Tanjiro along with Nezuko, and boy did this make everyone cry. This whole scene is enough for a grown man to shed tears. That's how good Ufotable is. Now, during Muzan's backstory, we can see an exclusive anime-only scene in which he kills all of the village members who were trying to stop him. Trust me, you can't stop Muzan Jackson from doing anything. Besides that, Ufotable did a great job of adding this dark theme to Muzan's backstory, very fitting for the progenitor of all the demons. After celebrating the defeat of Upper Moon 4 and 5 and Nezuko conquering the sun, we can see an anime-exclusive scene in which we're shown the sweet farewell of Tanjiro and Nezuko. This is a great ending to the season compared to the manga. And man oh man, what a season it was! And what a great video this was! But have you ever thought about what would have happened if Doma was also sent to the Swordsmith village? Click on the video right here to find out. Come on, don't be shy. Just click it. Just click